Hey guys, welcome back to the trail. We are in Hornby, which is near Lancaster, and we're on the outskirts of the Bowland Fells. We're doing a 15 miler today. We're going to follow the River Lune all the way down to Caton, where there's something called the Hermitage, and then we're going to turn around, follow the route back up past the windmills on the top of Caton. And if you look now, weather's not sparkling. It's given 50% chance of rain. We've had showers all week, bit cloudy, but by the by, we're out, we're about, we're going to get motivated, and we're going to hit the trail hard. So let's just get after it. Nice World War II pillbox there. But anyway, I thought we'd come off the path to have a look at this. Now, this is Castle Stead. It's a Norman era Motte and Bailey. Built in 1086 by Roger de Montalban. And you can still see such a well preserved site. Just on a piece of farmland now, and it once commanded the River Lune for monitoring what was going up and down it, but you can see there would have been a wooden tower in here. Still see the shape, and I'm no history buff, I'll leave that to Tim. And this causeway they think was added to the original pathway, so this is more recent, so to speak. But yeah, it's quite cool. Just off the side of the road. That's about as much history as you're getting from me today. So this stretch is part of the Lune Valley Ramble. I don't know anything about that trail, to be fair. And originally I knew about this area because I'd planned a walk, and I found the map the other day before I was videoing these walks, and it was the Hornby Ramble, and I remember not liking it, and usually don't like a route because I get diverted numerous times, or most of it goes through farmers' fields and pretty dull. And I couldn't remember why, so I went back and looked at the map and browsed up and down and thought, I can redo this. So that's what we've done today. It's the same start and end point, but I've kind of moved the route around and avoided some of the bits. And I remember last time you saw at the beginning of the video, Hornby Castle. On the map it doesn't tell you if something's private property really. And at the end of the walk, I planned to walk past the castle. I came in right from behind the land, and there was an open gate. It's not like I forced my way through. And then I realised I was on the premises and it was private property. And I was like, that panic, dread in your stomach, kind of going, I need to get out of here quick. And it wasn't even possible to turn around and go back. It was just one of those routes where would have been miles and miles just to try and get back. So I kind of looked confident, like I was meant to be there, and prayed that the front gate would be open. And yeah, it was. And I just walked out onto the street. So yeah, I wasn't going to repeat that. It was a complete accident. So we're going to do it a bit differently. Obviously, we're not going to do that again. But we're going to check out the area. Quite excited a bit for the walking down the river and see what we can see. Yeah. And it's that time of year when all the grass is soaking wet. Well, a little bit overgrown this bit. I thought perhaps this dog walker I'd passed before had come this way, but I don't think so. All the cobwebs are still fresh. Ooh, strong smell of wild garlic. That's a creative bit of stapling. Oh, we're getting super arty now. Started to panic then, thinking there were cows, but they're on the other side of the river. Again, very much the flavour of the River Ribble. The geography is pretty much the same, and I mean, of course you should expect that. They're virtually next to each other. It's the same sort of topography. And we assume that the farmers own most of it, so they let the cows roam. Cows are penned up over there and obviously across the river there. But yeah, very much reminds me of the parts of the Ribble Way that I've walked, and then the Guild Wheel near Preston. Okay, Mr. Farmer, did you have an alternative route? Because you're blocking the path. There we go. Thanks for the wire fence, farmer. Got another one. And if there was any doubt about the waterproofedness of the Solomons, these are soaked. So my sock is wet, I can feel it in both feet. Not to worry. That's a mighty big pond. A couple of swans in there. Yeah, we're going to go up Crowwood to the Snab and then carry on along the river. And you can see behind me, peeking up Hornby Castle. We've done about 3 miles, I think. Yeah, 3 miles. I might just have a quick drink here, some energy. Yeah, I haven't said before, but kind of pushed myself to come out today. I'm accepting the fact that cows are moving towards me. I accept the fact that sometimes you just don't feel like coming out, especially if the sun's not out. Kind of miserable today, but there was no reason, no logical reason, so I don't make my decisions based on my feelings. So I push myself to come out, and I'm going to keep fueling the tank with all the tricks in the book to get my morale up. Because I think it's important to be out every week for me, to get the legs stretched and to keep exploring new routes, especially the obscure ones like this. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I've said before about mental health issues. There's a difference between just being miserable and perhaps not wanting to come out, and then having a serious mental health reason for not coming out. I know some people have horrendous anxiety. I don't want them to put themselves in any danger, but I know my mind, and there was nothing stopping me coming out today. It would have been just laziness. So I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to have a Pop-Tart and some water. And then on to the next 3 miles. Definitely got the attention of the cows now. You can't get me. And at that point I realised they were on my side of the fence. Really? You smell delightful. So I think we can conclude that the Lune Valley Way does not get walked very often. More bushwhacking. I'm a little bit wet, could be worse. Whew. So we've gone from not walked very often to impassable. Well, someone's been here because they've gone up and over. So somebody walks it. So I've literally been bushwhacking for quite a while now. I've made no progress mileage wise. But I've just checked the map because at this stage I'd be happy to come off the trail because it's almost impassable. Dodgy shed behind me. But we're coming up to the road section and after that it's empty fields. It's just this woodland which is almost impassable. So I will carry on until I get to the road. But yeah, Lune Valley Ramble, massively overgrown, and this is what put me off some of the Ribble Way, is that when I walked a few sections of it, it was like this, just absolutely overgrown, and it just needed somebody with a battery powered hedge trimmer to just clear a path. But if nobody's paid to maintain the path, it's not going to happen, is it? So right, I'm going to press on. 3.5 miles done. Really do need to pick it up a bit because I don't want to get bogged down here, and then we should be clear to Caton then, the Hermitage, where I plan on having a coffee. Let me get a coffee. I know there's 2 shops there. Coffee. Can
we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
So this will give you an idea how bad it is. The style is completely gone, destroyed. I wonder if there's somebody I can email. But yeah, if anyone wants to walk this route, be prepared. I think we're going that way. Weed whacker! Oh, we've got good paths again. Looks a bit better maintained. Well, at some point it has been. Hey! Hey! Well, I'd like to have said that was fun. Yeah. But it most certainly wasn't. We had a good bit of run for about a quarter mile and then it was weed whacking again. Got badly stung by nettles. So we're clear here for now. Don't speak too soon. Getting pushing on towards that road at the 4 mile mark, so we've lost some time doing that. Lune Valley Ramble it's called. Oh, be prepared. Bring a stick or a hedge trimmer. Entirely nettled. That's quite funny. You saw it was completely nettled. Well, it's completely nettled at that end, and the idea is that you walk down there if the farmer's bringing his cattle in to there. So I didn't do that. I just used this piece of string on the gate. So yeah, I was about ready to turn around then, I'm going to be honest. I'd had enough. I thought, oh my, I'm not walking through that. I started looking at the map and then realised it's just so. If the farmer's bringing his cattle in, there's another walkway. So we're back on this track again, farmer's track. It'll cut around a big sort of, don't know what you'd call it, where the river bends around. We'll follow that. And we're making our way steadily towards Caton and a cup of coffee.
Coffee?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Offer me coffee.
Yeah, I've still got a damp foot. Well, both feet are damp. Well, I'm pushing it out of my head at the minute. Love my Solomons, but their claims to be waterproof are lies. Said this before. Oh, feeling a bit better now, especially after the Pop-Tarts and the water.
Water.
And now I can actually show you where I get that from. I haven't got Tourette's. Flow. Someone thought I had Tourette's. It's a reference to Dead Island. And now you've seen it and now you know. And if you ever play those kind of games with repeatable quests, you always have annoying sentences. There's another one. Oh, champagne! That's all she says over and over again. Just makes me laugh. We're doing alright weather-wise. Whether it's going to rain up ahead, I don't know. But yeah, feeling better now. Better. Well, when I looked at it, the trail came down all the way around and back up here, but its two narrowest points was 300 feet. I did. I cut the whole thing off. What was the point of going all the way down to the bottom to come all the way back up 300 feet away? And I'm not walking the Lune Valley Ramble, so we don't have to be a hardcore path keeper, but we just chopped a mile off, which I think is recompense for the time lost bushwhacking. So trail, I did this on purpose. You did this to me, trail. So I think we're going up there into the piney woods. It's not pine. I know it's not pine before somebody corrects me. I just call it the piney woods. It's the woods. I don't even know what they are. I've no idea what those trees are. Bridge way over there. Don't know if we're going to go near it, but it's quite nice view that. Took a few snaps. Yeah, so that leaves us, we have done 5.3 miles so far, and we've got 8.5 left. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, chopped a mile off. Sorry, not sorry. Sheep is. Much prefer sheep to cows, I'm going to be honest. just on this quite busy little public footpath, and we're just going into Caton now. Coffee awaits me. So I'm not overly impressed. I've come to Caton for a coffee. The coffee machine's wide open, the woman's working on it. Nowhere else has coffee. I got some sausage rolls, but it's not enough to appease me. Neither's this. Tyson Fury. Sour cherry knockout drink. I want coffee. I want brew.
Go get a cup of coffee in here, please.
Oh yeah! Would have gone well with a coffee. I'm going to be honest, guys. Very angry. Very angry. Whew. Caton, all I asked was for a brew. You were not willing. Had your head in the coffee machine when it should have been running. These are things you do before you go to bed. Maintain the coffee machine. As you can tell, panting, because we're heading up onto Caton Moor. 5.2 miles left. So now we're going to get onto a familiar bit of road. It's mostly road now. We're going to cut across that where we did the Ball and Fell walk. Can't remember which. But don't need to bag the trig point. We're just going to head straight back towards the car. Sun's out, it's glorious. If you give me a choice when going uphill, whether short and sharp or stretched out over a long distance, I think I prefer to have it stretched out over a long distance rather than just going straight up. So we are gaining quite some elevation onto Caton Moor. If you remember, it was where the all that wind farm was. Oh, I'm going to turn you around. Sorry for the noise interference. So that was a nice view. Yeah, and after I helped my brother move in the other week, it reminded me that even though I struggle on some of these walks, and you've seen it, it's all building endurance and strength. So when you do need to pull it out the bag, you suddenly realise you have got a lot of endurance just from constantly going out, constantly pushing yourself. So as I always say, always push yourself, guys. As soon as it gets hard, you're like, oh man, I really want to go home. Push a little harder, just a little bit more. Remember the golden rule? I think the military have always taught this. It's quite a well-known fact. Your mind gives up before your body does. Your mind will give up before your body does. So you might be sat there thinking, oh man, I can't go on any further. But your body's got a few more miles left in it. You've got to push past it mentally. Try and focus on it. And I'm reminded that one of my favourite Bible verses is in Hebrews, and we pretty much are convinced that Paul wrote a letter to the Hebrews, and we say, he said there, how did Christ get through the cross how did he willingly go there to purchase salvation for us? And it says, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. So he was looking beyond the suffering to the reward at the end. And that's beyond our comprehension to understand. But the principle is fantastic, because it does mean if you want to endure some suffering, make sure there's something on the other side for you to focus on, for the joy set before you. And I think that's definitely the way I look at it. And if I'm struggling, I do like to think ahead. I've got my brother coming around tonight, which I'll enjoy. Some good food, good company. And tomorrow I'll be spending the day with my wife. We'll be having date day. And then relaxing on Sunday. So for that joy, I'm going to push myself a little bit harder through these difficult moments. So find your joy that you can put on the other side and just use it to push you a bit further. I'm not quite sure what that means. Is it a question or a statement? I do like an obscure route, you know that. I know a friend on Facebook, Beverly, has been chipping away at the Burnley Way, which I've talked about before. Shout out to Beverly, which has kind of inspired me again. I really want to do that one, only because my two bits of accommodation make me laugh. So one's a motorway service station, which you can get to by foot, and the other's pub I stopped at on Rossendale Way, the Red Lion, I think it was. Really nice. Had some great halloumi fries there. So yeah, I love these obscure paths when they've been hedged, you know, cut down, not when we're having to bushwhack the entire way. But like this, I've seen them buckets every time I drive up here. They go over the main road, so it's quite cool to see them a bit further up. But there's nobody up here, nobody walking this part of the trail, and the views of the Yorkshire Three Peaks, not these, but I've seen the Yorkshire Three Peaks more that way. These are moving off towards the lakes and the peace and the quiet. Can't fault it. That's why I do this. Bit of a change from this morning's mood. Maybe it was a Tyson Fury energy drink. Fury Nation. Made in Italy. Like a shrine. actually got buggy. First time this year, really. There you. Where did they get a load of this? First time I've put this on. Avon, skin so soft. Dry oil. At least I smell better. Yeah, it does work though. Proven formula. You gotta remember it is a dry oil, so once it's on your clothes, it gets a bit greasy. It doesn't necessarily keep them miles away from you, but it does stop them landing, which I've used all last year. Hands get a little bit greasy. Yeah, right. Bugs no more. Not quite. Stone there. Unless that's it over there. Yeah, that's not ominous at all. That was a nice little diversion. There were some stone steps down, and then as I was coming back up, my foot went out, and I just managed to get my arm in place before I fell in the drink. By the grace of God, I did not. Just got a wet bum. So I think it wasn't worthy of the title waterfall. We've got less than 2 miles left. It's been lovely. This second half of the trail's been fantastic. Just exactly what I wanted. Nice easy path, peace, quiet, time for reflection. Yeah, and the sun's out. Weather report was completely wrong. It might rain later on, but that's later, not my problem. So I'm very grateful. It's been a good trail. Could have been so much worse, especially this morning with my mood and then bushwhacking. Well, no, it's come good. It's come good. Glad I came out. It's worth pushing. So we've got 1.1 miles left. And it's going to be the longest 1.1 miles in my life. They always are, the last mile. But I can see Hornby Castle from here. Oh, it's a pretty bus stop. If I was keen for a break, oh, a bench. Well, ironically, I'm going to cross over anyway, so I might as well have a sit. Brace myself for that last mile. Just a shelter. It's that moment when you sit down and your feet just go, ah! I'm not done in, I'm just ready for a sit down. Everybody's ready for a sit down. So this was a bit of an unavoidable road walking, really. In order to get back the way I came, the way I wanted to come, this is pretty much the only way. But it's safe enough. There's a nice grass verge. And we just had some pavement then, which I nearly missed. And with any luck, once we get around that corner, it might be a bit easier, but I'm not bothered. It's a busy road, but there's plenty of room. You can just see Penny Ghent sticking out over the top. They're lying down. Guaranteed rain. Back at the car. Ooh, 14.7 miles done, and there we go. There's the stats. And I knew Hornby was not going to let me down. Oh, sweet, sweet caffeine. I can quit whenever I want. Anyway, it was a lovely cafe in the middle of Hornby, where I got this for my bag. The Herdy Company. You know, I like my little trinkets and tokens. Yeah, so we started off a little bit shaky this morning. Mood wasn't quite right. Mentally, I was pushing myself. Didn't really want to be out. Nearly quit before I even set off. But I knew there was nothing lurking behind the scenes. It was just laziness. I wanted to sit on my backside, do nothing. It's always easier to motivate myself when the sun's shining, there's a blue sky, when I take the dog out. But not today, it was grey. Well, that shouldn't be a factor, really. I expected rain, and we got glorious sunshine. At parts, we got a bit of a breeze to keep it cool. It was a bit muggy. Regret the choice of wearing these pants after last week. The other ones were really cool. Well, it felt a lot cooler on my legs, so I need to make sure I wear them from now on. Yeah, we had trouble early on with the trail being completely overgrown. I did get a bit nervous about that, thinking the whole thing was going to be like that, but thankfully it wasn't. Then we got to Caton, and Caton let me down, because that woman had her head in the coffee machine trying to fix it. Coffee machine was at the petrol station. The co-op didn't even have one. Very disappointed. Well, we got some sausage rolls anyway, and pain au chocolat. Had lunch there. Then moved on, didn't we? And yeah, it got improved then. We had that long uphill slog. We got some peace and quiet up to the top of Caton Moor, or reasonably Caton Moor, the wind farm there. Those witches, 400 things. I'm assuming there are 400. I must check. But they keep showing up on every trail I've been on. These little poems. And I do have a rant to have about the Pendle Witches and all that jazz, but I might save it because Simon Hanley put me onto the Pendle Witch Way, I think it's called, and he thought that was the Pendle Way, which would make sense because the Pendle Way is a picture of a little witch on a broomstick. But ironically, there's a Pendle Witch Way which goes from Pendle Hill to Lancaster, which is the path the witches took on trial and then execution. So that's on the cards, 45 miles. Might save my rant for then. And where was I? So we're at Caton Moor. Then we followed it round into that wooded area near the quarrying with the buckets going by overhead. And yeah, things really reached a peak then. I think I was really enjoying it. And then we just had 1 mile of road walking, which wasn't pleasant, but wasn't unpleasant either. Yeah, what a nice trip. Wasn't what I was expecting at all. It's kind of redeemed the Hornby route that I originally did. And does not make me want to do the Lune River Ramble unless I take a hedge trimmer with me. But by the by, a good day out, and we stretched our legs and we hit the trail hard, so I'm a happy bunny. So I'm going to drink this coffee. This is Americano with milk. Don't get me started. Start ranting about Americanos again. Let me have a sniff. I was a bit concerned because the machine said it was Illy coffee, and I can't stand that. There's some bad coffees in the world, and Illy is one of them. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's alright, it's good. Yeah, not having the stove or a flask kind of makes the coffee more special when I find it. Right, anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the rest of our day. Daniel's coming round. Looking forward to that. Watch a movie together. Eat too much food. And out with the wife tomorrow. A few drinks. Hotel. Blessed. That's all I can say. It's been a blessed few weeks of Christian growth. And it's been a blessed few hikes. And I think we're really hitting our stride now with these walks. So I'm really keen to get onto the multi-day ones and set Oswald's Way looming on the horizon. So anyway, guys, I'm going to drink this coffee on the road. I'm going to head back. I'm getting very warm in this car. There's no windows open. I'm getting very pink. And I guess all I can say is that I will see you next time back on the trail.